Glad you made it back, everybody, here at the Chris Salcedo Show. America First Legal Foundation has uncovered a secret portal of suppression used by government officials to curtail Americans' constitutionally protected speech. Twitter ran a partner support portal for government employees and other stakeholders to submit posts that it would remove or flag as misinformation on its platform. Documents obtained by AFL show Twitter enrolling one government employee through their personal Twitter account into that portal. We know from other publicly related documents that Facebook has copied this approach for election-related censorship. Let's bring in CEO of Trump Media and Technology Group and former California Congressman, conservative Devin Nunes. Congressman, Merry Christmas. Glad to have you back, sir. If the documents and investigations prove that government officials used government resources to steal Americans' rights, shouldn't Congress act immediately to write laws to punish anyone in government for doing such things?
Well, look, you have to remember the Republicans, they need to get organized first, and then they need to start their investigations. But they're not going to have a Senate that cooperates, Chris. So, and the Biden administration clearly is involved in all of this. So just simply what has happened here is it looks like you've got the United States government suppressing, using an outside group, in this case, private companies, to go in and censor Americans. It really is outrageous. It'll depend on, we're still waiting, quite frankly, on Elon Musk to release all of these documents. So if you couple the supposed Elon Musk documents, which the Twitter files that we haven't seen yet, Chris, with this work that America First is doing, this should give a pretty good flavor for what the United States government is doing on behalf of the Democrats to suppress freedom of speech in this country.
Right, right. And action should be taken. And if the House sees this stuff, they shouldn't wait. They should make the Senate vote against it and make Biden veto it if by some chance some of those Democrats in the majority in the Senate grow a conscience. Don't know, but we'll see. In the meantime, states like Texas and Indiana are moving to track down, or crack down, I should say, TikTok violations. We know that this app is collecting massive amounts of metadata for China. Put it into perspective for the folks at home who are not social media experts like you. Just how dangerous is the TikTok app compared to what the other apps that we're using out there today?
Well, look, let me take you back to the Trump administration. Everyone in the Trump administration, including us in Congress, Republicans in Congress, who actually started this initial investigation nearly a decade ago, looking into what China was doing globally using technology. What people need to know, and I'm just going to grab my phone right here, this is device now, it gets more and more powerful. It is a tracking device, and it's really tough unless you're an absolute tech wizard. You don't even know how to turn everything off. So it's pretty easy to be tracked. So what the Chinese have been doing is that they are installing, they're using TikTok, and they can grab all of that intelligence and take it back to China. Now, look, other U.S. companies can do the same thing. I think there's concerns there with partnerships, once again, with the left that can get certain types of data that then Republican politicians cannot get. But regardless, just to go back to the Trump administration, tried to get TikTok, was trying to negotiate a deal. If you remember, there was an attempt to get American companies to buy it, and then poof, the Biden administration comes in, that's all over with, and China goes upon business as usual.
Right, exactly, and that's what I'm fearful of, is that the pro-Beijing elements inside of the current majority in our government is basically sacrificing our data and sacrificing our safety and security to deliver on a policy position that is advocated by the Communist Chinese. Last thing, I only got about 60 seconds here, Congressman. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is now under an ethics violation. You worked with this woman, and you know how to basically cut through all the garbage. Is there any there for this, or do you think it's just some sort of window dressing?
I can only tell you about what's been reported on, because we don't know until this all comes out and is released publicly. But it's rumored that it's about her attendance at a nonprofit event where she shows up in this dress that, look, Chris, you and I probably don't know much about clothing attire and how much it costs, but looking at the picture that's there on your screen, I would think that costs quite a bit of money. And I can tell you that, every time that I attended a nonprofit event in my many years in Congress, I never had anyone that, provided a free suit for me, for example. And, I can tell you that, on a congressional salary, look, you're not in the poorhouse, but, I could afford some nice suits, Chris, but they weren't the type of suits that would cost as much as that dress on your screen. So, I think a lot of people have wondered, AOC lives in New York, lives in a nice apartment. She's got a nice apartment in Washington, D.C. She's showing up at these events. She's very well dressed. And people, I think, are just asking the questions, where's the money coming from? And I think that's what people want to know. So it's interesting that the Ethics Committee's taken this up, but we'll see, because Republicans always get treated differently than Democrats.
True enough, true enough. Former congressional expert, Devin Nunes, and current social media expert, Devin Nunes. Yes.
But I'm going to tell you what, for Christmas, I'm not on congressional salary anymore. I'm going to send you one of those dresses just for you. As long as you promise to wear it on the show.
You don't want to see me in anything that resembles that.
Ultra MAGA dress.
Do I look fat when I turn this way? Do I look like I'm adding some? Anyway, Congressman, thank you very much, man. Appreciate the time.